in my life? I want a man that has integrity, that has a good character, that lives by a certain moral code. I would rather him be broke than to be somebody who's a millionaire, disrespecting me, cheating on me, and not really giving me what I desire or what I need from a relationship just because he can provide a certain lifestyle. Absolutely not. I want to be respected, and I want to be in a situation where I respect that man. And a lot of times we look at lifestyle and money as in, oh, we have it all. No, you don't have it all if you ain't got no peace. You don't have it all if you're not being respected by your partner. And a lot of us are bypassing really good dudes, really solid guys that will treat you right, that will honor you, that will respect you. And you go for these guys that have no good intentions for you at all. You will just be one of many. And you're like, okay, well, I'd rather have that because I got money. That's not going to keep you warm at night, sis. I'm sorry.
I ain't got nothing to add to that. Dr. Sabrina, what you think?
Well, I mean, I think she has a very valid point. At the end of the day, we are all individual. And what works for me may not work for the next person. What I would prefer may not be what the next person prefers. But the other side of that is we evolve as we get older. Most of us do anyway. So what was exciting to me when I'm in my 20s may not be so exciting or may not be a priority for me when I'm in my 30s. You know, something came across my feed earlier. I don't know if it was today or earlier in the week. It was a clip about Neo, the singer. Mm-hmm. And of course, most of you guys probably already know that he and his wife were divorced because he chose to, you know, engage with several. He said he couldn't be faithful to one woman. So I think now he's in a relationship with what, 4 mm-hmm. or something like that. So, I mean, in that case, it did not work for his wife, but obviously those women that are in a relationship with him don't really care. And it was funny because, and I don't know that it's true, but according to what I was reading, they were saying there was certain specifications, certain rules in place, things that he could do in the relationship, but they were forbidden. If they did these things, then they had to pay a fee or a fine for breaking the quote unquote rules, which is hilarious to me. And it often makes me wonder, it's like, why do we have to have these conversations as women? Why aren't the men sitting around having these type conversations? Like, man, do you want a woman that cheats on you, or do you want one that's gonna rub your feet at night, you know, and could have your meal on the table when you get home? What do you want?
Right.
This is crazy to me.
No, you know, I think that is so true. And it goes back to, you know, women, you know, well, first of all, polygamy has been around since the beginning of time. So, you know, men have a lot of time, and in patriarchal societies have been, you know, been polygamous. There have been, and then there's some matriarchal societies where women have been, you know, the benefactors of polygamy. So there's been that. But I do think, you know, Boyce and I was having a conversation. I'll share this a little bit earlier on the other podcast, but Boyce and I were having this conversation about the dynamic of the Black family, Black community. And it's, you know, stemmed from like systematic racism and mass incarceration. Because what happened is the dynamic of relationships in the Black community has shifted dramatically. The ecosystem of our relationships have shifted because of the fact that our Black men are no longer available, a lot of them being mass incarcerated. And so now you have, you know, where you have the 9 women to 1 man, you have this whole imbalance.